everybody. I had a video chat with Kion in my class this morning, and he was telling me all about a raccoon that he's been watching every morning that goes through his backyard and finds a tree and climbs the tree. And I said, oh, maybe we should try to figure out how to draw a raccoon today. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. Just like my orca, if you've seen that one yet, you might not have. Orcas are tricky for me, and raccoons are something that I've been working on a little bit, but I've never felt like I really know how to draw a raccoon. So let's try and do it step by step together. You may hear some rumbling and grumbling in the background. My dishwasher is on. This is the fun of trying to learn at home, and my dishwasher is very, very noisy. So try to ignore the rumbling, and I will try to draw a raccoon with you. So let's draw together. I'm going to click away, and let's get started. Today my lighting is weird, and I can't get rid of that little shadow, or this little shadow over here, because I don't have the proper lighting, but you'll still be able to see what I'm doing once I get going with my black marker. So here comes a raccoon. Let's see. So let me just move my cursor so I can see. So let's start like we usually do with the eyes. And I think we'll start over here on the right side of the paper, and we're going to start with 2 circles, not too far apart but not too close together. Okay? And we're going to make them look like they're shiny by putting in those little white touches on the top. And you know what? We can even do like a little white circle at the bottom, like that. It doesn't look like an eye right now, but when it's all done, you'll see that that just looks like that's where the light's catching. And then I'm going to color in around those white spots and around those white spots. If you don't want to add the white spots to your eyes, you can just color them in black. This one's just a little bit bigger than the other one, so I'm going to make it a bit smaller. There we go. So we've got 2 eyes, then we're going to add a nose. So down here, just between the 2 eyes and a little bit lower, we're going to draw an oval shape. And I think we're going to put like a little white highlight on the nose too, because that looks like where the light is touching. And raccoon's noses should be a little bit wet and shiny. So that's his nose. Okay, doesn't look like a raccoon yet, but we need to start building up the shapes. So we're going to connect the eyes to the nose. And we're going to do that by starting kind of in the middle of the eye and making a curvy line into the nose. And then the same on the other side. Just to the side of the nose from the bottom of the eye. Now we are going to do the same kind of thing from, let's see, from the bottom of the eye. Let's draw a line out, not too far, and another line out, not too far. Kind of makes it look like an M or 2 mountains. And now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line that goes underneath the nose to connect those 2 parts together. So let's do it. Make it kind of curvy and up to the other side. Now it's starting to look a little bit more like a face. Okay? You're with me so far? Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to draw another line that comes out just like that one. So here we go. It's going to come from the top of the eye over to the side about as far as the other line, and from the top of this eye over to the side about as far as the other line. And then we're going to connect those to those lines. Starting to look a bit like a raccoon. Okay, now we're going to do another curvy line, but this time we're going to go up. So watch. From this part of the eye, we're going to curve up like that. Not too far. And then again on this side, up like that. Not too far. And again, we're going to come out to the side and out to the side. Okay, now we have to kind of make the rest of the shape of the head. So we've got the details that we need. Now we're going to add more shapes. So starting just a little bit higher than that line that we just made, we're going to start over here and we're going to curve out and connect all of those together. And we're going to do the same thing over here, out and connect all of those together. Now we're going to add his ears. So the ear is going to have a curvy line that goes up and a curvy line that comes down, maybe even just a little bit further. Okay? Then we're going to do the same thing on this side. It's going to bring that a little bit higher. I have to start over here. I work better from left to right. It's hard for me to go that way. So I'm going to do a curvy line that comes over here and a curvy line that connects down. Then we're going to connect the top part of his head. And I'm just going to come a little bit higher than that line. Do you see right here? That's where I'm going to start. And I'm going to end up right here. Now if you want to, you can do a smooth line, but I'm going to do a little bit of a bump in the middle to make it look like the top of his head. And then I'm just going to add a curvy line almost the same and a little bit that goes over, and we'll color that in a little bit later. Okay, so that's the head. Part of me wishes that I had a little less space here, but I'm going to work with it because this is what's happening today. So now we're going to come and we're going to put in his legs. And we're going to go step by step. So we're going to start just about where that line connects. Put a little dot right there. And then I want you to think about a curve that comes down to about, like if you think about right underneath his nose. So we're going to start at that dot and we're going to curve to this dot. Okay, here we go. Curve down. And then we're going to do a short line. Oh, you can't really see the bottom. Let me move it up a bit. I didn't realize that. I wonder if I can fix that. Maybe. Just a sec. I'm going to pause the video and try to raise my camera. Hold on. Okay, I am back. And I put the camera on top of a Crayola box, a marker box. And it's given me a little bit more height. So I think we can see the whole thing now. So we did a straight line. That was the last thing we did right there. And now I want you to do another line that's the same right beside that line. Okay? Make it a bit longer so they're the same. Now we're going to come around and give him a little foot. Alright. Now we're going to do the next leg. And we'll make this one tuck behind it in a second. So come over underneath his nose again and put a dot a little bit lower in his body. Not right on his chin. A little bit lower. And put a dot, let's see, just about here. Right beside his other foot. And now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a curvy line this way and connect those two dots. So watch, here we go. Curvy line this way. Now, to make this leg disappear behind that leg, you can start here and just do a little curve up behind that leg. And we're going to put his little foot on here, like this. And now, we're going to come way over here, kind of beside his head, and we're going to put a dot right there. Move it up a bit so you can see his foot. And this time we're going to do a big curvy line down to here. Watch this. Right down to his foot. And you might think that looks strange. That doesn't look like a raccoon, but just wait, because this is his front leg that's kind of curved in. This leg is tucked in behind, and now we're going to do a great big curvy line that comes around like this to make his back and his back leg. So we're going to start right about the top of his ear. Can you see my little dot? And we're going to curve around until we get all, sorry, something was beeping, I just had to take a look, till we get all the way back down to his back leg. So we're going to come to about here. Whoop, here. So start on that top line, and we're going to do a curve that kind of goes up and down. I'm going to come a little bit lower actually. Up and down. There's his back. Whoa, I went up a bit too high. This camera always makes it look a little bit different than it does on my paper, but that's okay. Okay. Okay, so let's add in the bottom foot. So at the bottom of that line, we're going to come around and do a little loop like that. And then this line is going to come down to that foot because we want to make it look like it's hiding behind that leg. So here's his big back leg, and now we're just going to do one more leg that kind of comes down a straight line, and you can curve it around and give his little foot and go back up there because it's kind of smaller because it's further back. Okay, now the last thing we have to do is we have to add his tail. So I'm just going to slide this over just a tad, and we're going to come from the side. Yeah, he's kind of tall. I think I would have made him shorter next time, but that's okay. Okay, here we go. Here comes his tail. So it's going to come down and a curve at the bottom and curve back up. And then we need to put on what are on a raccoon's tail that make it really look like a raccoon. Stripes. So I'm going to do little ziggy-zaggy lines. Ziggy-zaggy, ziggy-zaggy. And when those get colored in, they will look like the stripes of the tail. And we're going to do an AB pattern. You know what those are. What will my colors be? Black and gray, or black and lighter black? I guess that's gray. Alright, there's our raccoon, but I think he doesn't quite look like a raccoon until the colors are in. So I found some things around my house. Let me show you what I found. I found a black crayon, a white crayon, a gray crayon, a gray pencil crayon, and a black pencil crayon. And I think I'm going to start with my crayons and then add some details with my pencil crayons later. So I'm going to start, oh, they almost both look gray. I'm going to start with my black, and we're going to color this part quite black because this is that dark mask that those raccoons have. So I'm just going in and pressing so that I get all the little white spots colored in, and there we've got his black mask. While I have my black in my hand, I'm going to do my AB pattern. Black, white, black. It's not going to stay white, but right now I'm just doing the black. Black, white, black, white, black, white, and that tiny little bit of black that's left. I'm also going to take my black and just do like a shadow in the ear. I'm not coloring it all the way in, just where it would be dark for his ears. Okay, I feel good about this. So, before I go any further, I want to go back to my marker, and I just want to add some little curvy lines at the bottom of his feet to make it look like claws, because I thought his feet just didn't look quite finished. Okay, I think I'm going to use my gray crayon. So now I'm going to very quickly, I'm going really fast because I do want him to kind of look furry at the end of it. So I'm just going to go around his eyes because I don't want to color those white spots in. And around that other spot of his eye. And I'm just going to color really quickly. You take your time if you want to, but I'm just going to go fast so that you can see what I'm doing. All the way around. Starting to look like a raccoon, isn't he? If you don't have a gray, there's a trick you can use with your black. You can use a black, but just press lightly with it, and that will make it look more like a gray. Maybe I'll show you what I mean by doing that in this spot. So I'm back. See, here's my gray. This was my gray. Here's my black, so you can see the difference. I'll leave my gray there so you can see that's gray. And when I use my black and I press lightly, not so hard, very, very gently, I'm not putting much pressure on at all, it looks like gray too. This was also my black, but I pressed harder. So if you don't have a gray crayon at your house or a gray pencil crayon, you can use a black and just press lightly and you can get the same idea. Okay, I'm going to quickly color this whole body gray and the stripes in between. So I don't have to worry about these lines. I can go right over these lines because I want this part to be gray and I want this part to be gray. I have to be careful down here though because this is not a leg. So I just want to take a bit more care when I get to the bottom. A little bit more care. I'm not trying to be too perfect with my coloring because I want him at the end to look a little bit fuzzy. So it's okay if my coloring goes in this direction and this direction and this direction, kind of scribbly. Do you notice how I'm holding my crayon? If you were printing in my class, I would say, oh, make sure you're holding your pencil properly. This is the right way to hold a pencil, isn't it, with a pinchy grip. But when I'm coloring and I'm trying to color big pieces at a time, I hold my crayon like this. And I put one finger here so that I can use this, so I can use the side of the crayon rather than the tip. So do you notice how I'm holding that crayon? So different from how I hold a pencil or a pen or a marker when I'm drawing. But coloring, you can switch your grip to give you a different way to use a tool. And here my tool is my crayon. So here I go. Getting all those spots, little circles, long lines. Oh, I have to be careful right there. I want that to stay white. I don't know if I'm going to keep it perfectly white, but right now I want it to stay white until I decide what I'm going to do. Sometimes when you get around the edges of like his face, you can press a little harder to make it look like a shadow under there. Or like down here where it would be in the shadow, you can press a little bit harder. And that gives you dimension and depth. And like this back leg would be in the dark because it's back there. You can press harder. And even like right here and right here, you can press a little bit harder to give it a shadow. Now I'm just going to do those tail lines. Doesn't matter if I go over top of the black because the black won't show it. Alright, he's looking pretty great. Now, I think what I want to do is I want to use my gray so lightly here. I don't want it to be white because I don't think that they have white markings on them like that, but a lighter gray right there. So I'm hardly even pressing. Do you see how I changed my pencil grip back to the regular grip? Because I can press much lighter. When I hold it like this, I press quite hard. When I hold it like this, I can be very gentle and just let it touch the edges. Oh, I want a bit of a shadow there and a bit of a shadow there where the light would be a little bit not so bright. Maybe down here, definitely down here. Alright, he's looking pretty great. Now, you could be finished here if you want to, or you could add some fur lines with your pencil crayon. Just make them look a bit fuzzy all over. I'm just putting little strokes, little lines all over. You can do it back here. Did you know that the word raccoon has 2 double letters in it when you spell it? I bet you can think of 2 of the letters that are doubles. They make the sound ooh, like boo, or what else says ooh? I can't think right now. I got raccoons on my mind. Let's try and print raccoon. Look, I just did little lines here and there, and he looks fuzzy and furry. Okay, here comes raccoon. Think about the beginning sound. Ah. Here's the first double. Here's the first double bunch. K, Two C's. And here, I bet you got these doubles. Raccoon. Ooh. Raccoon. Think about that last sound. Raccoon. Yep, you got it. It's an N. There's our raccoon. Kion, I wonder if it looks like the one that lives in your tree in your backyard. I'd love to see what you can do with a raccoon. Give it a try. Talk to you soon. Let me give you a little wave goodbye. I'm still here. Here I am. See you next time. Bye.